Israel was given the Great Commission to take the knowledge of Christ to the nations, all the way back in the prophets. And let's go to the prophets and look. So in Isaiah 42, 6-7, he says, I am the Lord, I've called you in righteousness. I will take you by the hand and keep you. I will give you as a covenant for the people, a light to the nations, to open the eyes that are blind, to bring out the prisoners from the dungeons, from the prison, those who sit in darkness. The same kind of idea is given in Isaiah 49:6. He says, it is to light a thing that you should be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to bring back the preserved of Israel. I will make you as a light for the nations, that my salvation may reach to the ends of the earth. Now, for those who might say, well, he was talking to Isaiah, this is actually used in Acts 13:47 to call to as the marching orders for Paul and his friends. It says, for so the Lord has commanded us, saying, and he quotes, I have made you a light to the Gentiles, that you may bring salvation to the ends of the earth. What is the light that's supposed to go out to the ends of the earth? Well, Yeshua tells us, Jesus tells us in John 8:12, he says again, Jesus spoke to them saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So I think that the Great Commission that is given, go therefore and make disciples of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to observe all that I've commanded you. I believe that this is a reiteration. It is not a new command. It's not something new. What he's telling the disciples to do is founded on Isaiah and what Israel was supposed to do, but what they had dropped the ball in. Israel had not done what they were supposed to do in taking the light of the knowledge of the seed that would bless all the nations of the earth. They had not fulfilled their role to take this to the nations. And so I think that this is just a reiteration to the apostles. This is what you're supposed to be doing now. So with that said, I'll wrap all this up and I'll throw it over to you. I think that once a person becomes a believer, I've used this analogy at my church numerous times. Actually, 2 weeks ago I used it, so sorry for anyone who goes to my church who is listening to this again, but I've used this analogy before. How do you know when you're talking to a vegan or someone who does CrossFit? And the answer is they're talking, because the vegan or the person who does CrossFit won't shut up about it. That's all they talk about. As soon as you meet a person for the first time, hi, my name is Joe. Hi, Joe, nice to meet you. What do you do, Joe? I'm a vegan and I do CrossFit. I mean, this is kind of how the conversation goes, right? Why is that though? It's because they're excited about it. It's what they do in life. As believers, every single believer, whether you think you are or not, you're in ministry. You're in ministry full time. You can be in ministry full time by working at McDonald's. You can be in ministry full time by being a CEO of a company. The point is that it is our goal and our duty to talk about what is in our heart and what drives us in life. And that is Christ. It is the Lord. It is our covenant relationship with God. And so no matter what you do in life, you have an obligation to study the Word, to come close to God in prayer and in Bible reading, and to share that with the people around you. And if you haven't figured that out yet, and I'm not saying that everyone has figured that out yet, but if you haven't figured that out yet, I would sit down and take some time to assess your life and figure out how God is using you in your life as a ministry and how you can change things to dial that up. Take this one to 11. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.